Hey everybody, I'm Erica Carlson with BRIX Real Estate, and I'm also a neighbor in the Rockford area. If you do happen to recognize me, I am a former teacher for the Buffalo School District, and I wanted to bring you some real estate market data, like whether you're selling a house or just an owner or a buyer. I think that this information will be helpful. I am going to go ahead and share my screen, so give me half a second so we can dive into this week's data. And if you have been noticing, I've been posting this data, week to week. So you should be able to go back if you were, so inclined to want to see it. But I do go back here a couple weeks on the screen. I don't think I can point to anything, but you'll get the idea. So if you look at the column with bold, you'll see that our active listings has not changed at all since last week, really. One more listing, not a big deal. And TNAS, which again means temporarily not available for showings. This is a house that might come back on the market or be taken off. It's kind of hard to know. It's just gone down a little bit, not too much of a change again. Pending, we did see more go into pending. So some of those houses that were for sale last week have found new homeowners. And then you can see the closed data, but I can't because they always cover my screen. The Zoom thing just covers it. So I believe it was about the same as the week before. So just not a lot of changes from the past. Same with showings per week. Really important data if you're selling a house. You want to know that about 4 showings per week is average. So if you're doing much more than that, then you have a hot property. And if you're not getting an offer, then that's probably a sign that you're possibly overpriced, or maybe there's a condition issue or like a smell or something like that that you might want to have an honest conversation with your real estate agent about to see if it's something you can fix. If you're getting less than 4 showings, again, it could mean those things. It could mean that there isn't something like drawing people in to come see it, but it's an average. And so you have to take it with a grain of salt. And I'm only showing you the data from the price of 250 to 500. So if you have a property over 500,000, you would want to ask your real estate agent what that data is looking like. It typically is different depending on the price point. Days on market has gone up since the last time I checked, and it's still about a month. So if you're going to sell a house or you're going to buy a house, about 30 days is an average. So if a house has got 45 days, again, it doesn't mean there's anything wrong. But again, is there something going on that maybe could be remedied with a price adjustment or a conditional change of some sort? This is the same graph that I showed last week. We're at a 2-month absorption rate, or a less fancy way to say that is that if we did not put one more house on the market in 2 months in Wright County, we would run out of inventory to sell. There would be nothing left. We are in a seller's market. Multiple offers are becoming normal again. The inventory is just lacking, so while it looks like, there's hundreds of houses for sale, they're all different price points, there are different locations, things like that. So if you're out shopping for a house, you know exactly what I mean. It just doesn't feel like there's enough to choose from. It's very limited in options. All right, one last graph I want to show with you this week. I haven't shared this with you before. It was something I was thinking about because I had somebody yesterday tell me that they just don't like the mortgage rates currently. And what it had me thinking about is that there's always going to be some sort of pain point. So for example, during what we're going to start calling the COVID years, the 2020, 21, even a part of 22, the stress was that there was just, these houses were selling so quickly. They were always going into multiple offers. They were going well over list price. And so it was very stressful because it made people feel like they were overpaying and they didn't know how much to offer to win the house. And then were they going to regret it if they spent that kind of money? However, they had great interest rates. So a little bit of that price was that they could justify it because it was like, well, if you had a 2 or a 3 or even a 4% interest rate, it just didn't feel as harsh. So then, of course, when interest rates in June popped up, and you can see on my graph, this goes back to November. So you're going to see it kind of, this is just averages, right? It says Freddie Mac 30-year fixed rate, November to today. Okay, so it was around that 7. Well, if you say house prices are really high and interest rates are becoming really high, Of course, that's why we saw such a slowdown in the real estate market, because everything was too high. There were still houses to purchase, but it started feeling too stressful for a lot of people. So we saw people back down. So going back to that comment from the other day, when you tell me they're still too high, and then so my question is, in comparison to what? And I don't mean that like in a sassy sort of way, but like if you're expecting it to get to 3%, then I do not know that we will see that again anytime soon. So you can't set yourself up and wait and wait and wait, because then I guess you're not that serious about purchasing a house. The 6% on my screen, that rises and fluctuates all the time, like daily, hourly, weekly. You could talk to a loan officer, they could give you a general idea one day, and the next day it's different. And it's not like it's popping up from 7 to 8 to 4, it's not like that, but like there's just these small adjustments. And so a lot of people will lock after they find a house, and we will use your loan officer's expertise and specialty in the topic, because they study this. They pay attention to things going up and down and what the feds are doing and how inflation is affecting everything. That is your loan officer's job. Of course, if you're paying cash, none of this matters to you. So bottom line, if you don't hear me say anything else today, they are trending downward. How far will they go down? Can we get to 5%? I don't know. But going back to my other point, keep in mind, then more people will come out again. And so then again, houses get more competitive, and then you're going to pay more money for the house because you are going to be in multiple offers, which is becoming quite normal again. So don't be mistaken just because it's not green outside. I mean, there's tons of snow. We are in the spring market. Things are competitive. All right. Last thing I want to leave you with. I know the data that's super important to you is getting the information from your particular neighborhood. And again, this is nothing I can give you in this video format. I don't know your address. I don't have enough information. So what I did was I created a link, and it has our cities: Buffalo, Rockford, Delano, St. Michael. If you live in one of those towns, you can just click on it and get the general market report for your town. It will, it doesn't tell me anything about you. So you can just look at it and look at the information. That'll tell you what your neighbor's house sold for, how many days it took. You can look at even at pictures at the houses if you want to. Better data. And I know you don't want to necessarily tell me because you don't want me to follow up with you. Maybe you're just curious, but you have no intention of selling your house. I understand. The only way I can give you that information is if you click on the link in there that that you will share a little bit of information with me so I can supply this back to you. And you can tell me in there, like, listen, I'm not thinking about selling a house. I just want to give you what you find most helpful. And I know it's in this market report. This is the feedback I've gotten from past clients. And I think that it's the most important thing that I can share with you. So feel free to click on that link and at least check it out, even if you're not certain, where you want to go with your real estate needs. Lastly, that's my contact information below. I'd love to help you. My website is iheartmpls@minneapolishomes.com. Again, I work in the Wright County, Hennepin area. So if there's anything I can do to help you, I'd love to be a resource to you. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Have a great day.